Listen up, Cluckheads.
You're listening to Whiskey and Whine
With Rooster and
The Madman, where we talk about common sense, current events,
the Constitution and
morals, while comparing drinks of yesteryear to drinks of today.
so sit back, relax, leave us a comment.
Here comes Whiskey and Whine.
So anyways, Overlord looks at the bartender and says, "Moo moo, buckaroo."
The other day I went ahead and asked him to leave. All right.
Oh, hey, welcome back, Cluckheads. You listen to
Listening to a little bit of Whiskey and Wine.
Yeah,
Rooster Madman here.
You know who we are. You know what we do.
Current events, common sense, the Constitution, and morals.
Oh, there she is.
She just entered the
There she
room.
is.
Morals
There she
just
is.
got here. All right. So, you know who we are, what we do? Now, remember, whenever it comes to Oktoberfest, since it was canceled, we are not comparing high ends to low ends. We are comparing apples to apples and pumpkins to pumpkins. So there's not going to be a high end, low end this week, but we are going to compare two Oktoberfest beers on the first annual Clucktoberfest. That's right.
Yeah, season of the beers.
Season of the beers. And we're intentionally having to say beers from now on because it drives the morals crazy. I'm going to start saying stuff like deers and meese and moose. just to jack with it.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's great stuff. I mean, this is our third episode of Clucktoberfest, so we're going to pull out all the stops. It's going to be nothing but schnitz and googles.
You're
that's
back
good.
You're back on that schnitzel.
Yeah, so this is where the Rooster breaks out all his German that he
Oktoberfest
he
dad
pretends
joke.
to know.
Yeah.
So,
Nine!
So,
Anyway, this week we got two beers from the hill country. Yeah, my accent came out there. Did you catch that? It wasn't hill. It was like hill.
some people call it hill country. I call it beautiful.
So many things I want to say to that.
What do they call it?
I do love some Randy Rogers band though. But all right, so which one we want to open here first?
You pick it, man. I think I usually grab one, so I mean, it's a different take. Not having any low end stuff. Here,
Yeah,
so.
because normally I just grab that low end and go to town. You know what? I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to go with our Pause in the City glass that we're using.
Really?
So the Oktoberfest that we're using for the Pause in the City glass is from Alstadt. I think that's how you pronounce it, Alstadt.
Yeah, not to be confused with the Good Hands people.
I'm going to throw something at you.
9!
I'm going to throw something sharp and pointy at you. I'm going to break this bottle over the counter.
That's
use
a
it
little
as
too
a
aggressive,
shiv.
Madman.
No, it's not. So it does have the lesser coat of arms on it.
Yeah, that's a trend. That's a trend for Oktoberfest.
I think that's the morals. Whenever she walked in and was grabbing all these beers, that's something that she probably looked for because of her Bavarian Honky Tonk Bar Association license.
It's a cool bottle.
It is. Now, one of the things that I noticed, and we're going to talk about it when we get to the other one, is that if you notice that the two crests are different.
Yeah.
This one has two boars.
It's like they're dancing boars.
Yeah.
They're happy.
Maybe it's because
they got Oktoberfest.
Because they got Oktoberfest and some schnitzel and brats.
Yeah, they got all their schnitzel and they know it's Clucktoberfest, so it's a good time.
They're like, you know what? We're going to make a special crest because this is the first annual.
Yeah, this one's out of Fredericksburg.
Yeah, so this one's Fredericksburg. You know what? I'm going to go ahead and open it.
No, open it up.
Let's see here.
Get mine open too, with my professional wallet bottle opener.
Huh. All right. Yeah, you're a professional with it.
That's right.
Yeah. All right, going to do the Uncle Joe Biden sniff.
I mean, that's a good smell for it. Yeah.
Oh, that smells really good. It smells like it's got like roasted malts or something in it.
I can smell the citrus in it.
It's got some citrus in it too, but it smells like it's got like the.
It's a good quality beer smell.
Yeah. You know what? Time for the pour test. Time for the pour test. Let's do this.
It's a good color. It's not as dark as I would have imagined.
Definitely
for the
not
smell.
giving me as much head this week
Yeah, well,
on the beer.
Everybody has a dry season.
Yeah. It's got a good color to it. I'd say that it's...
No, it's a good color. It's not as dark as I expected it would be with the smell that we had
with the
out
smell, I was expecting it to be a little bit darker. I don't think it's quite as dark as a Shiner Bock.
No, it's not nearly as dark as Shiner Bock.
But it's definitely...
It's a nice amber.
Yeah. I'd almost say that it's almost like a red.
It looks like Blue Moon.
I don't think it's that light.
I don't know, man. I think so. But, yeah, what do I know, right?
I don't know. All right. So let's get to the other one here.
Okay. So our other one is made by the Real Ale Brewing Company. It is their Oktoberfest. And they've got our favorite thing to say around here is Prost.
Prost, y'all. No, it's not RAR. That's a RAR.
It's not RAR. It's Prost, y'all's RAR. This one's just Prost.
But it is Texas.
So it
everything's
is
y'all.
Texas. So, we have all our fun with that one. So this one's also out of the hill country at 6.0%. So it's, 0.1 difference.
It's from Blanco, which is
down in Blanco.
Which that is south of Johnson, but it's northwest of New Braunfels. Is that right? North-ish.
So
New
cool.
Braunfels.
So two hill country going head to head here. We've been doing some Fort Worth stuff.
I will say this, that the box that they come in, the artwork reminds me a lot of like the Deep Ellum Brewing Company.
Yeah, I mean they've definitely got some throwback into the medieval thing with the lion.
But that's what I was about to say. Look, the crest different. It's got the lion on it.
Yeah,
so that's going to be some research for us.
Yeah, so it's cool. But you know what? This one doesn't have the lesser coat, so that's. But it's got the colors just in general of the light blue.
I was about to say it does have the colors of the light
not the
blue
pattern.
and the white, but it doesn't have that pattern on it. You're correct. This is the. No, we had another Oktoberfest that didn't have the coat of arms on it. The RAR didn't have the lesser coat of arms.
No, the RAR was just had the pretzels and stuff on it. It was an orange color and stuff.
Yeah.
With it, so cool.
All right, well,
we're gonna open this one
let's
up.
Open it up.
Oh, the wall is failing me.
I thought you were a professional.
Sometimes
I'm gonna give it the buy and sniff test here. Oh, that smells completely different.
Yeah, it does.
That
it really
smells
does.
completely different.
It really does. I think I actually like the smell on this one a little bit better.
I would agree. The smell on this one is, and this one's even lighter. It looks like. Yeah.
I don't know, man. that almost looks like the exact same color.
No, look. It's lighter. Not by much.
It's marginal. It's like the percentage of 0.1% off.
Makes me wonder if like the darker ones that we're drinking, if those are the ones that have more of like the roasted malt and the roasted hops.
Yeah, typically you have the darker it is, the more barley, and when you get into that red color, it's a roasted.
Yeah,
that's kind of what turns us into situations like that.
Just
the lighter is more of a hops heavy.
Yeah, so I knew that, but
yeah.
I was just kind of wondering like what makes the roasting different from an Oktoberfest beer to like a normal like craft beer that we'd get, like
I don't know. Sometimes I just want the magic to be magic and not know all the details.
You're a wizard, Rooster.
Still want to believe in magic sometimes.
We'll get the sorting hat out and see which house you belong in.
Slytherin.
I can already tell you it's Slytherin. I got dibs on Slytherin.
Slytherin.
So, all right.
All right.
So we're going to go ahead and get into some of these topics. I got the timer set. Cool. Let's start getting some Clucktober clinkage with our, what is this? Aldstott. Clinkage. Here's Clucktoberfest.
All right, first drink.
Oh, that's
a good one.
That is good.
That's a good one. Ooh,
All
it's
right.
kind of sweet.
It does have something sweet on the back end.
It is sweet.
That's what she said. It doesn't leave you prickly.
No, there's no prickly on the
inside.
inside on this one right here. So, but it is sweet. There's definitely it feels like a sugar content almost to it.
Yeah, get the diabetes from it.
Diabetes.
All right, so our first topic that somebody brought up was the cargo ship debacle. The timer has started. You want to go or you want me to?
Oh, dude, let's go here.
You want to go?
Yeah,
to
I mean, or we could just leave it all kind of sitting out there in the ocean and not talk about it at all.
What?
Like everything else is going
That's
on.
just ridiculous.
So yeah, so the cargo ships are just kind of, I don't know, piling up, stacking. I don't know what the nautical term for that. I was in the Army, so I don't know what those Navy guys call that. That kind of backlog.
A cluster cluck?
Yeah, it's a cluster cluck, if you will. So they're out there, and the real sad thing about all these cargo ships just sitting out there in the ocean is these goods are not getting to market, obviously, and they fill our entire supply chain. So we're not just talking toys aren't getting to the shelves.
And the supply, that's going to cause an entire imbalance in the supply and demand. And especially right now, that's just going to drive up the inflation even
you got all
more.
that imported steel. You got, heck, we even import chicken, out of China on this stuff. We send it there and then it comes back, which is just ridiculous and not on this topic. But anyways, so, everything from the auto industry to the agriculture industry is affected.
The auto industry is getting affected huge because of all the parts coming in that they can't use for repairs.
Yeah. But the good news is President Biden has woke up from his nap and he's ready to get in here and jump in on this one. So he has given the authority now for the Los Angeles Port Authority or the U.S. Port Authority in Los Angeles to get that port running 24/7.
Okay, so hold up. I'm gonna ask you a series of questions here. All right. You can't just nod your head. It's a radio show.
Yes. Sorry.
Set the beer down.
I was taking a drink.
Okay, so the answer is to get the government involved, right?
Well, they are already involved. It's the Port Authority.
Okay. So I don't know if you saw this, but Biden came out and said that if it's not open 24/7, he was going to start naming names.
Yes.
So that means they already knew about this. Otherwise, how would they have all this info?
Yeah, but I would actually ask the question of, so who told them not to be 24/7?
There we go. So who told them not to be 24/7?
Dude, convenience stores are open 24/7.
So you see where I'm going with this. So how do we have names if the government wasn't involved in it in some form or fashion? And if this was a true emergency, don't you think the Coast Guard would be going out there getting stuff off of these ships?
Yeah, or we'd tap that merchant marine kind of thing. Supplies.
None of that's happening.
No, none of it has happened. But there is a fun little fact about all of this. If you buy American goods, there is no cargo ship waiting for that.
That right there makes too much common sense.
Yeah, I'm just saying. There's some American companies out there that they do everything in house.
Sir,
and
I'm going to need you to
you don't have to wait for them.
I'm going to need you to take that common sense and walk right out that door because we're going to have to ship it via cargo ship from Seattle to Los Angeles to get on the...
No. You could even buy local if you wanted to.
What? Support your local businesses?
Yeah, it's really where you can support local businesses,
That's
small
crazy
businesses.
Talk.
That's
crazy.
I'd
rather just go ahead and order something from Amazon and use my Prime membership to get it, from Indonesia, to get it blocked at the port of L.A. just so that I can say, hey, this is taking too long. I like to get my money back.
Prime refund back.
Yeah, just get that Prime refund back.
So that's where we're at. Supply and demand. Obviously that's going to affect inflation. Inflation is already at an all-time high. And it's just going to keep going now. And and you know what? It's this is me personally. I try to support as much local business as I can because, instead of supporting Jeff Bezos going to outer space, I'd rather buy local because I know that person is going to use that money to, for their daughter's dance ballet or to send their kid to college or something. It's not just going to be for another $17 billion yacht and to go into outer space. But the beautiful thing about that is that I'll walk into the store or I order it online and it's there within 2 to 3 days. Yeah.
And guess where it's not blocked?
It would not be sitting out there on a cargo ship at the Port Authority.
It would not be out on a cargo ship. The fact that it's even happening is just clucking ridiculous.
It is ridiculous. It's just, I don't know what to say. So rather than taking responsibility for inflation or anything else like that, the White House has gone to. I'm just going to start naming names.
We're just going to start naming names.
We're throwing people under the bus and say it's this guy's fault.
And blame it on somebody else.
Absolutely.
Timer just went off. All right.
More drink.
More of this one. More of the Altstadt.
Yeah, while you're doing that, you get that drink. So, you mentioned Bezos went to space, because billionaires going to space. I told you,
that's the new thing.
I guess, Did you see that William Shatner went to space recently?
I did.
I was actually against it. And, hear me out. There's a reason I'm against it.
All right. Okay, Brad.
I've seen this guy.
Okay, Rooster. All right.
I've seen this guy. And we've got a pandemic going on. We got all kinds of nonsense going on. Last thing I need this dude to do is bring back one of them STDs from those little green ladies.
I knew that was where you were going. I didn't want to think that's where it was, but yeah, I knew that's where you were going with it.
Yeah, because Captain Kirk, man, he sleeps with all the aliens.
How much alien tang you think that he decided to load up on over those years?
As much as he could. I don't know. He was like the James Bond
of outer space.
Yeah. I mean, he was like, hello.
The morals looked at me whenever I said tang. I don't know.
Well, we don't know what it's called in outer space. That could be,
I was referring to the powdered drink morals.
Okay. Yeah. That's where I was going.
Yeah, that's where I was going with that.
Yeah, you never know. You never know. I mean, although I've heard saying alien is offensive now to
you saw that Demi Lovato.
Thank you, Demi Lovato, for making
I can no longer say ancient aliens. I have to say ancient extraterrestrials are coming onto Hulu tonight. Because the term aliens is racially and culturally.
Who listens to these people?
Man, first off, I'm going to need you to lower your tone. Because
she's dumbing down America.
With the approval ratings that we have right now, I don't really think that's what.
That's my little tangent.
So what do you think about this Altstot? What do you think?
I like it.
I like
it.
this.
We're in good hands with this Altstot.
And you know what? I'm going to save a little bit of that one.
We're going to do the go back here in a minute.
We're going to do the real ale Oktoberfest.
You want to take a sip first? Or you want to start another topic?
Let's
cool.
Take us.
Oh yeah.
Clucktober clinkage.
Prost. Oh, daddy like.
That's good.
That is.
They're completely different.
Really good.
They are completely different, though. I'm curious on this. On the side by side on this one.
I don't know. It's gonna be weird. This one's really good.
The
other one's really good, but
they're both really good.
But they're very different.
But they're very, very different.
Which is weird because they're both Oktoberfest style beers.
But you know what? We've had that every week.
Yeah, we have.
The only one that was actually even remotely close, like in taste and texture, was the Spaten and the
the angry one that we can't pronounce.
Weifenstoffenstuden.
Yeah, but this is good. I like it.
Yeah,
but I like all the beer. So beers.
There we go.
No, sorry.
You said beer, and it's supposed to be beers.
Yeah.
She just threatened you with a spoon.
I know, and it's out of an ice cream bowl, which I'm lactose intolerant, so she's absolutely trying to murder me.
That's not very moral-like of you. Pretty sure that's against it somewhere, like in those first 10.
And yes, in Clucktoberfest, you can't have ice cream when beer. We make the rules.
You know what? They're not having it in Munich, so we're having it right here in North Texas, and we make the rules.
Yeah, they can't say nothing because we did not punk out on that.
We didn't, and we didn't invite them. So na.
They just gave up.
Let's get in this second topic.
Second topic.
All right, so timer has started. The second topic. What was that second one? Oh, Governor Abbott.
Good old Governor Abbott.
Governor
State
Abbott.
of Texas, our home state here.
Texas, our Texas.
So, Governor Abbott. So, back up a little bit. So, Biden, and we covered this in a previous episode. Biden had created an executive action out there that mandated anybody with over 100 plus employees. Their employees must get vaccinated, or they could first face termination, and the company itself would get like a $14,000 fine for every situation where someone didn't have their vaccination. So Abbott has stepped in on the Biden executive action. Said, I too can just write executive actions at will, and skip legislation because that's what you seem to keep doing. So he has now made a mandate in the state of Texas that says no company can have a vaccine COVID mandate.
Biden versus Abbott.
Yeah, so this is absolutely going to end up in courts. I think.
Now I noticed that you chose your words carefully. You said executive actions.
Yes.
And one of the things that a lot of people may not realize that an executive action is not a law.
It is not a law
because it never passed legislation.
No, it is
now in most cases, if the federal government imposes a law and the state tries to override that law with another law, with them both going through legislation, it'll end up in the Supreme Court because it's a federal versus state level type of.
It is, and it's almost always a no-brainer that the federal law is going to trump, if you will, the state law, because federal is a higher authority.
Different because this is an executive
and
action.
These are not
it
laws.
Never passed an actual legislation. It was just somebody that
Correct.
signed it into effect. And in most cases, an executive action that's imposed by the federal government and then an executive action that counteracts that by the state government, in most cases, the state wins that one.
Yeah, and it's weird because we're not really designed to have executive actions, counter-executive actions. Executive actions were created for for use of national defense, time of war,
and disasters,
and things like that. And we're absolutely abusing.
Oh, we're abusing that pen.
I mean, it's just pure feather-legged nonsense.
John Hancock and that boomstick, they ain't happy.
So basically, it's just like, oh man, I can skip legislation too. Watch this, buddy. And so that's where we're kind of at, and we're right now who has the biggest executive action kind of thing. So
who has the biggest clutch?
Who's got the biggest freedom stick is what they're basically showing, or the biggest tyranny stick is kind of how I see it when it comes to executive actions. But we'll see. I think it's going to end up at SCOTUS. We'll see which way it's going to go. Who wins this one? I honestly think they could both skip this whole nonsense if they just go through the legislative branch.
Almost like that's how the Constitution was designed.
Yeah, it's weird. Follow the Constitution, and you're not wrong.
That makes too much clucking sense.
Yeah.
Oh, but but with that, we also have the whole thing with Southwest with all of the vaccine mandates.
Oh no, you mean all the poor weather?
Yeah. That's
all
obviously
those thousands of cancels of flights because of the weather.
Over 2,000.
Because the weather's just so bad across the
country.
2,000 Dude, apparently
places.
there's hurricanes everywhere.
There is a hurricane in Boise, Idaho.
Yeah, it's really weird. I would like to thank the Southwest Airline company and pilots for taking safety into consideration.
So what's funny is that
not to fly passengers into those
I don't know if you follow
disaster zones.
That disaster zone in Columbus
that the FAA said doesn't exist.
That's what I was about to say. Did you follow the trend on that? So Southwest comes out saying that it's because of all these bad weather, and air traffic control because of the inclement weather, and then the FAA came out and said, nope.
Yeah, they're like, what?
What? No. So, and then all of a sudden you get some of the pilots, and the pilots were just like, they were getting interviewed. They were like, so what's your opinion on this? Yes. Yeah.
My favorite was the picture of the pilot who draped the Gadsden flag
out of the cockpit.
Out of the cockpit window sitting at the runway.
Now, for those of you that don't know what the Gadsden flag is, that's the one that has the snake on it that says, "Don't tread on me."
Yeah.
So most people call it the "Don't Tread on Me" flag, but that's the actual name for it.
Is the name of the flag.
It's the Gadsden.
I do
flag.
like the spoof one that says "Don't step on snake."
No step on snake.
No step on snake.
No step on snake.
But yeah, so it's fun times.
But, I mean, it was just like timer went off. I'm going to finish that thought though. Timer went off. I thought it was funny because some of the pilots that did turn in their resignation because since they were no longer employed. They just straight up said, no, we don't agree with the mandates. And what are they going to do? Fire me? I just quit.
Yeah, a little fun fact is since we're going over a little on this one. So Southwest Airlines, they have a government contract, so that's why they were kind of, even if they're over more than 100 employees. But I know the Biden administration, what I read, had really stepped in on the airline industry because of government contracts. Well, give you an idea of Southwest Airlines, their government contracts are less than 3% of their overall revenue. Inflation is higher than the money they make
That's
from the government.
with the way things are now. We sacrifice the 97% to accommodate to the 3%.
Absolutely. I mean, that's
the way we do it.
That's the only fair way to do something.
That makes the most sense.
Yeah. So hopefully the storms will clear up soon and Southwest will get back to flying.
Yeah. Really worried about
the American and some other
earthquakes in Grand Rapids, Michigan.
But it's funny, with that plus the Abbott thing, American Airlines is in Texas.
Delta's
out of Texas.
You saw where I was going with this.
United's now out of Texas.
You saw where I was going with this.
So, we're talking half the airline industry is out of Texas.
Yeah.
Remember that, people.
Yeah. Prost, y'all. Okay.
Prost.
Okay, I'm going to take my next drink of this one.
It's like happiness in a glass.
It is.
Which is weird because Germans sound angry a lot.
That's why I always tell people that that you should always tell those that you love them every day. Yeah. But also scream it in German because it's very angry and confusing.
Yes.
Yeah. Ich liebe dich. Yeah.
What'd you just call me?
I said I love you.
Oh, love you too.
Yeah. All right, so let's go back to this.
Yes, let's go back.
You know what? You want to do the side by side before we do the follow up? That way we can think about which one's the better one. And
let's do the during the follow up. Let's go back.
Okay, so I'm gonna take a sip of the Altstadt.
One sip.
I'm gonna take a sip of this real ale. I'm going to have to sip on both of those during the follow-up.
Yeah, I'm gonna leave it. I'll leave it as a surprise. I already know which one's mine. So
you're going to go with that Altstadt.
You don't know. You don't know.
Don't act like you know me.
No, you don't know, man. I'm enjoying both of these. So we need to do follow-ups now. The follow-ups are going to have quite a bit in there. So
let me go ahead and start the timer on this one. So follow-ups. So the Biden approval rating.
Wait, hold on.
Never tell me the odds.
FUs.
I told you, schnitz and giggles.
The schnitzels and giggles.
So, yeah.
It's dropped since last week. I don't know how.
Well, just when you think you can't hate somebody anymore,
I mean,
you just find a whole new level of hate, I guess.
It's like,
it's not my hate.
That old saying, like, whenever don't say you hit rock bottom because there's going to be some clucker that throws you a shovel.
Or it's like the Simpsons analogy. It's the worst day of my life. It's the worst day of your life so
far. But yeah, so his approval rating dropped even further this week. Kamala Harris's has dropped further this week. And speaking of Kamala Harris, where in the world is Kamala Harris?
I saw a photo of her at On the Border.
She has not been on the border at all.
No. At On the Border. The Tex-Mex place.
She was getting something.
It was like probably Taco Tuesday.
She was getting some of those $5 margarita pictures.
Yeah, she's man. Come on, man. Happy hour tacos.
I'm surprised you didn't do that while I was having a drink.
You
haven't caught me. You haven't caught me here recently.
So but she's probably trying to get her approval rating up by just acting like one of the
she's acting like
normal people,
one of the locals.
Yeah, one of the locals going on the border.
But with the border follow up, a bunch of the representatives and Abbott, they all requested FEMA as an emergency intervention because the crisis is so bad.
Yeah.
And it was denied.
Of course. They're not going to help out Texas.
Why wouldn't it be?
I mean, why would you help us out when you can just let 15,000 people through the border every day in Texas alone?
Every day.
Unvetted, with COVID. Not all of them have COVID, probably around 20%. So, that's a low number, right?
Yeah.
Come on, man.
Come on.
Come on.
Come on, man.
Yeah.
Who knows? Maybe the next corn pop just crossed the border.
Well, now you're talking like Trump because he said criminals would come across the border right there.
Corn Pop's a bad dude.
Corn Pop was a bad dude.
Corn Pop was a bad dude.
He's a.
Okay. Spending bill. So over 70% of the people still disagree with the spending bill.
Yep. I'm one of those 70%.
That's because I got common sense. Which one are you drinking?
I'm doing the
real ale?
The real ale, Oktoberfest.
I'll take a sip with you.
Yeah. So
that's happiness in a glass.
Yeah, common sense tells you this whole $3.5 trillion whatever madness is it's madness. It's not smart. It's not fiscally responsible.
But I did find a nice
little. That's not physically responsible. Fiscally responsible.
Which means monies.
Yes.
Money.
Yeah, stop spending money we don't have.
Which, that I found this interesting quote. The fact that we are here today to debate the raising America's debt limit is a sign of leadership failure. It is a sign that the U.S. government cannot pay its own bills. It is a sign that we now depend on ongoing financial assistance from foreign countries to finance our government's reckless fiscal policies. Almost like we talked about that with China.
Yeah, it's weird, right?
Yeah, it's really weird.
China.
Increasing America's debt weakens us domestically and internationally. Leadership means that the buck stops here, but instead, Washington is shifting the burden of bad choices today onto the backs of our children and grandchildren. America has a debt problem and a failure of leadership. Americans deserve better. Now,
that's pretty good. It's a good speech.
That's a very good speech.
Yeah.
By Senator Barack H. Obama in March of 2006.
Well, see, people change.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And stuff. And, yeah.
Because with the way that inflation works, like that.
Yeah, I mean,
that
come on.
That China cabinet that Wicked
So
Hen wanted, it's just going to go China. But, I mean, people change their stances, right?
Yeah, absolutely. People always change their stances when they get caught doing stuff.
Whoa, get caught.
Well, I mean, he didn't get caught. He's not in office anymore, but Biden is.
And it's almost like he was the vice president for 8 years.
Yeah, but to be fair, when Obama made that quote, he was just a lowly senator.
Yeah.
He was not the second coming that everybody believed he was.
Yeah.
So
second coming of something. Oh, timer just went off.
Look at that.
All right. Okay. Whew.
Yeah.
Or at least the drinks are happy.
Yeah. I wonder if Kamala got guacamole with her chips, or if she just stuck with the salsa and stuff.
She probably got the prickly pear.
Yeah. Well, I mean, she's probably a spender, so I'm going to bet
I meant the toy, not the food.
I was going to say she's a spender, so she probably actually,
she probably did the guacamole live.
She probably get queso and guacamole.
But I was talking about, like the guacamole live where they come to the table.
They come to the table, mix it right there.
Mix it right
I don't know if they do that on the border. Do they do it on the border?
I don't know.
I don't know either. I know they do it at Uncle Julio's. Not an endorsement. They just do that at Uncle Julio's.
I'm glad you had to clarify.
Not an endorsement.
Not an endorsement.
I just really like their guacamole at Uncle Julio's.
All right, I'm going to do my...
Texas, man. We do Tex-Mex. That's what we do.
It's kind of like for breakfast, you have eggs and bacon and chips and salsa. And then for lunch, you might have like...
Huevos rancheros.
You might have, pizza with chips and salsa. Or you might have a ham sandwich with chips and salsa. I mean, it's kind of like a staple. It just goes with everything.
Yeah, it's weird.
And we had tacos tonight.
Yeah, we eat tacos a lot.
That's because it's Thursday. Some people have Taco Tuesday. We have Taco Thursdays. We record the show on Thursdays.
Yes, tacos are not just for Tuesday, people.
No, they're not. Not in Texas.
No.
And then, you know what, though? We always order from Caesar's Tacos in Dallas. And I have yet to be disappointed with any of their food.
No, what is that barbacoa we usually get?
Yeah, we normally get the barbacoa.
It melts in your mouth. I mean,
and that's some of the most tender barbacoa tacos.
So anybody who orders from there, just remember that green is hot.
Green is hot. Green will clear up your ragweed allergy. Yeah. All right, I'm going to do a side by side.
Yeah, go ahead. I already did my side by side.
You are a side by side.
All right. You want to go first? You want me to go first?
Man, this is tough. It really is.
Well, they're always tough because these are all Oktoberfest quality beers.
It really is. I think that if we're, doing the spirit of Clucktoberfest and we were talking, having it with food, wanting it to set so heavy that, you can use it as a ballast while floating in the river, I'm going to have to go with the Altstadt.
Okay. Well, I'm going with the real ale.
You are?
Yeah. Real Ale Oktoberfest. It's just a little bit. It's not quite as heavy. I mean, normally I don't mind the heavy beers.
That's where I was going to go with the second point on that.
But it's not as light as what we saw last week.
It's almost a perfect in the middle.
Correct. It's in the middle between the two.
I think that if we were going to sit down and have a sipping beer through a German meal, I think that I would go with the Altstadt. If we were just going to be at the park. State Fair, and we were going to have like a couple bratwurst.
Oh yeah,
I would go with the real ale.
Yeah.
The only thing that kind of gets me on that real ale is that it's got that sweet kick in the back.
Well, to me, I get more of a sweetness out of the Allstott than I get out of the real ale.
So, oh, you do?
Yeah, I'm getting a 10. Like the diabetes joke kind of thing.
It's 2 out of 3 here. Yeah. We got a split decision. So the Morals is coming in. Last time,
Morals is going to decide.
I think it was the last time or the first time I was the split decision.
Yeah, you were.
Yeah.
And Morals is
taking. She's taking some generous libations.
She looks so elegant when she drinks. Oh man,
she's going real ale. Okay.
No, that's the Allstott, isn't it?
No, that's the real ale.
No, it's the Allstott.
No, it's the Allstott. Okay,
yeah, Allstott.
That's what I said. I said it was the Allstott.
I'm outvoted again.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's because we got
conspiracy around.
Because we got a sophisticated palate.
That's all right. Just like Liberty, I don't mind standing alone.
Like that statue.
Yeah, Godsmack wrote a song about it.
The one that was in The Mummy?
I stand alone.
Yeah. Yeah. You know, did you just seriously turn that into a jazz cover too?
I did.
You know what? But once again, you
turned it into a Mel Torme. Mel Torme cover.
I can throw a little bit of saxophone and trumpet in the background on it.
That is because these things are 5.9 to 6.0% is why I'm allowed to do those things.
That is true. But it's Texas, so we don't do anything weak.
Yeah. No offense to Godsmack.
The other 49 states or Godsmack. But
yeah, I mean, they'll get around to
with the exception of Oklahoma and Delaware.
Nobody wants to go to Delaware.
Nobody wants to go to Delaware anyway.
Again, no offense to our listeners and our listener.
No offense to our listeners in Delaware.
Delaware. I mean, we're not coming there.
But you know, the good news is that those highways run north and south, and you can go anywhere else.
Yeah, so a lot of people don't know this about Texas. Fun fact. I'm full of fun fact. It's schnitz and giggles, so another fun fact.
Are you talking about 35 and 20?
Yeah, so I-35 does go north.
And south.
Yeah, it doesn't just go south. You know, so anybody comes down here, just remember, you can take it north to go home.
So that's especially good for the California listeners because, you know, if you're going to come here, if you look at the state right above where you think Texas is, that's actually Texas. So
yeah, don't Californicate my Texas.
You know what? Even Bucky's excited, man. But
once talking about California's coming here.
Yeah, he immediately started barking. He's like,
nope.
But all right. So we have the Allstott that won this week.
Yeah, Allstott's the winner.
I mean, now you said it was a conspiracy, but the last time that I was a tiebreaker, I went with you. Remember on the Spaten because she.
No, it's all good. Yeah. Again, you cannot go wrong.
No, you really
with either one of these beers.
Beers.
So
she's squinting her eyes, looking at us. Beers.
I think she's trying to double work on something else too. So yeah.
Yeah, well, you know what
it is.
But yeah, neither one of these beers will leave you prickly on the insides. Yeah. There we go.
All right, guys. Well, episode 26. So
it's 25, isn't it?
No, we're 26, man.
Oh yeah, it is 26.
26.
2-6. My God.
I know, it's crazy,
people
right?
People have been listening to us.
You think we would have celebrated being at 25? 25 episodes we've done. Now we're on 26.
No, we're going to have to celebrate on 52.
Yeah, we will.
Unless it's a leap year, and then it's still 52.
All right. Well, unless you got anything else, I mean, let's put this thing in the ground.
We're gonna go ahead and put this thing in the bun and roast it.
Sweet.
So,
all right. So
you've been listening to episode 26 of Whiskey and Whine with the Rooster and the Madman, and remember, in a world full of chickens, be a rooster. You're listening to Whiskey and Whine. Thanks for tuning in to Whiskey and Whine with the Rooster and the Madman, where you can catch brand new episodes every Saturday at 4 p.m. on Deep Dallas Radio on Locked and Loaded with DJ Shane Guns.
Special thanks to our sponsor, GiftedChicken.com, home to all your beard, bath, and body care needs. Veteran owner operator right here in North Texas. Remember to pick up a bottle of Overlord's Dungeon Oil. It's 100% all natural coconut oil.
Leaves you prickly on the insides.